Hi, I'm Holly Andrews, Integrative Nutrition Health Coach and Executive Wellness Coach. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the kitchen. Today, I want to share with you a couple of my favorite snack recipes that I love to make at home. I know what you're probably thinking, why in the world do I need to make snacks at home when I can just buy them from the grocery store? Well, here are a few things to keep in mind. Often when you buy snacks from the grocery store, even healthy snacks, they are filled with a lot of unhealthy ingredients. So by making your own snacks at home, you can have complete control over the ingredient list. Make sure that your snacks are not full of a ton of added sugars or seed and nut oils. Those things are really the frustrating part for me when I go to the grocery store and I am looking for healthy snack options. Just for instance, the other day I was at the grocery store looking for a nut mix because nuts are such a great source of omega-3 fatty acids and those kinds of things that like walnuts are great for brain health. But almost every single brand of nut out there has added oils. Why do you need to have oils added to your nut mix? It doesn't make any sense to me. And of course, peanut oils added to cashews. Well, that peanut oil is a highly processed, highly refined seed oil that is not good for us. It's an omega-6 oil that just contributes to inflammation. So I digress, but bottom line is if you choose to make your own snacks at home, you have complete control over what goes in them. Another thing of why you may want to make snacks at home is that you can have creativity in the kitchen. You can customize them and make them your own. So I'm going to show you a super simple roasted chickpea recipe that you can make in about 30 minutes, and you can customize the flavors any which way you want. Those chickpeas are a blank canvas. Another reason you might want to make your snacks at home is because it's actually a lot more cost effective than buying them at the grocery store. So for instance, I have energy bites for you today and the roasted chickpeas. Even buying the high-end organic ingredients, I'm saving a ton of money doing it that way rather than buying the pre-packaged snack foods that you can get from the grocery store. So as long as you're not trying to, look for something at an airport, but you can make them at home, take them with you, this may be the way to go. If you are looking for more healthy snack options that you can prep and take, or you're looking for things on the go, get my healthy snack guide at the link below. It's going to give you 12 options for make and take and 12 options for on the go. I have vetted all of these, and they are absolutely things that I use every day and would go to myself. So be sure to check that out. All right, so without further ado, let's get to making our roasted chickpeas. So the roasted chickpeas are quite simple. They take about 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes if you include the prep time in there. And again, you can customize these in any way that you want. I'm gonna make some savory chickpeas today, but you need a can of chickpeas or garbanzo beans. I chose to use our local store's name brand, but their organic version. And you wanna make sure that you rinse them, drain them really well, and let them have a chance to dry. So I have mine, they have been rinsed, drained, and they are pretty dry. The drier that you get them, the better the spices will stick. Next thing, you're gonna need some olive oil or avocado oil. I've got olive oil here. You could even use infused oils. So I have some garlic infused olive oil that I love to use all the time. I'm not going to use it today because I am going to use garlic powder. Any kind of infused oils would be a great option as well, just to kick that flavor up a notch. And then we're going to add some spices. I've got salt and I've got cumin, some smoked paprika, and my garlic powder. And that's it. That's simple ingredients, all really good for you. So let's get to making them. The first thing that you want to do though is set your oven to 400 degrees, which mine's already going. And then we're going to mix all this stuff up and put them in the oven. So stay tuned. All right, so my first step here is to get the garbanzo beans into my mixing bowl. We're going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil here. Probably go with 2. Then we're just gonna mix that up really well. Make sure all of the chickpeas are coated in the olive oil, and then we are going to add half a teaspoon of each of our spices. That was my salt. Here goes my garlic. And honestly, this doesn't have to be exact. So if you are kind of a fly by the seat of your pants kind of cook, then you may not even need the measuring spoon. But for the purposes of this video, I am using mine. All right, we're gonna get those all mixed in together really well. Make sure everybody, got some runaways, is coated quite nicely. And that way we'll put them on our baking tray. Smells really good. Okay, I think that's great. All right, so I have my baking tray and I've lined it with some parchment paper. I used to use aluminum foil for this, but I have learned that if you cook food directly on aluminum foil, it can leach metal into your food. And I don't really want that. So if I'm just trying to use the aluminum foil for cleanup purposes, I am trying to use parchment paper instead. So, keep that in mind. I still will use aluminum foil for other things, but I'm trying to reduce how much I actually use it. So we're gonna obviously I have poured the chickpeas onto the tray, and I'm just gonna try to spread them out a little bit. And then we're gonna pop them in the oven, and they take about 30 minutes. They're done when they're nice and golden brown. So I'm gonna pop them in there for about 30 minutes and give them a shake every 10 minutes or so until they're done. So while those are cooking, we are gonna work on our energy bites. All right, so these energy bites, the basic recipe has just 4 ingredients in it, which I love because I can totally keep it clean. I can control those ingredients, and then I can customize as I want to. If I want to add some allergen-friendly chocolate chips into the recipe, I can do that. Or maybe some dried cherries or something along those lines to add a little bit extra nutrients. Like the dried cherries would have great vitamins and minerals in them. The chocolate chips would have some magnesium, especially if you use the dark chocolate chips and not the semi-sweet. I also recommend using those allergen-friendly chocolate chips if you can find them, because they tend to have 5-6 ingredients in them as opposed to 15-20 ingredients in them. So just a thought, food for thought. Check those labels when you're buying ingredients. So today we're gonna use rolled oats. So I have these rolled oats. They are organic, they are certified gluten-free, and they are glyphosate-free. All of which those things are very, very important to me when it comes to things that I'm gonna give my kids or that I'm gonna put in my body if I want a great, post-workout snack, or I'm gonna give them to my kids after, my son has football practice, or we've been out working in the yard and everybody needs a little pick-me-up. I don't want to give those things that have the glyphosate in them or tons of added sugar. So these are my favorite oats to use. We're going to use peanut butter today, although you could obviously swap this for a nut-free butter or almond butter. You can customize it to your dietary preference. I am using organic peanut butter from Costco because it only has 2 ingredients in it. It has peanuts and salt. So again, when you're buying peanut butter or almond butter or anything like that, look for those added oils, added sugars that we don't need. So I mixed up a fresh jar of this natural peanut butter. If you know anything about natural butters, they don't have all of those additives in them, so the oil does tend to separate from the butter, if you will. So I mixed this up, put it in my refrigerator so that it's a little bit more solid. But if you use these natural butters that separate, I do recommend going ahead and mixing them up, popping them in the fridge for a little bit before you do this, just so that it has time to solidify a little bit. It'll be much easier to work with than the nut butters you've just stirred up. They might be a little runny. So just a tip there. We're going to use protein powder. I have chocolate protein powder today, and then a little bit of stevia for just a little sweetness. We don't need a much. So we're making these while our chickpeas are in the oven. So if you hear the oven beep, it just means I need to give the chickpeas a little shake while they're cooking. So let's get to making our energy bites. All right, so we are going to mix our dry ingredients together first. So we've got 1 cup of our rolled oats going in here. Then we have a 1/4 cup of our protein powder. 1 teaspoon of stevia, and I'm just going to use my teaspoon to mix that all together. Now for the peanut butter, which is the fun part of this. I learned a little trick, and I'm going to give it a try. I sprayed, you can see that this peanut butter looks really nice. I mixed it up like I said earlier today, so it's not totally solid yet and will be really easy to work with, but it's not completely runny yet either. So I sprayed my 1/2 cup measuring cup with a little bit of coconut oil just to help the peanut butter not stick to the measuring cup so that I can get kind of a true 1/2 cup measure of this. And that is about right. So that should come out really nicely since we sprayed it with the oil. And this is my favorite part because I get to lick whatever is left on my finger. All right, I am a big fan of peanut butter. So that's our ingredients. It's so simple. So now we're just gonna incorporate them, mix them together. May have to get my hands in there. I did go ahead and take off my wedding rings so that I would not get protein powder and peanut butter and all of this other stuff into my wedding rings. So tip for y'all, if you have rings on, you may want to, all right, I am gonna get in here. Anybody that knows me knows that I make brandy balls at Christmas time, so I am no stranger to getting my hands dirty. All right. Now, if you find that your mixture is too thick, you can always add a little bit of water or almond milk or regular milk to kind of make it a little bit easier to work with. If it is too thin or too runny, you can always stick it in the refrigerator to let it firm up for like 10 or 15 minutes before you try to form the balls. So I think that looks good. So I have, again, a smaller parchment lined tray here that I'm just going to put the balls on once I have made them. So this recipe makes 10 to 12 servings. So I like to take, let's see, that's half again. So I don't know, I'm just playing around, but let's see if I can get 10. All right, so that's one, and then we're just gonna put these together and go from there. But basically, they kind of should fit neatly in the palm of your hand when you squeeze. That's kind of how I'm judging this situation here in terms of size, which is about how big I make my brandy balls at Christmas. We did do the chickpeas, so they've got 5 more minutes for round 2 in there. It's smelling amazing. I'm just gonna try to gather up some of the. Now, for customizations for this, I mentioned chocolate chips. I would use the dark chocolate chips because of the antioxidant and the magnesium that you'll get from that. You could do chia seeds or flax seeds or anything like that. Even probably hemp hearts would be great. Hemp hearts are a great source of iron. So if you are low on iron, that would be a great addition to these. Or, just go crazy and do all of them together, or chocolate chips with dried fruit. So, any of that would be really, really good. Okay, look at that, 10. And they're almost evenly formed, so that's awesome. So I'm gonna get these into the refrigerator. They're going to sit in there for about 30 minutes to set, and then I can transfer them to a storage container. Okay, so both snacks are done. I pulled the chickpeas out of the oven about 15 minutes ago and let them cool while the Energy Bites were chilling in the fridge, and both of them turned out really well. So here are the roasted chickpeas. They turned out really flavorful, crunchy, exactly what you want. So this makes about 3 servings of the roasted chickpeas. So you can divide them up into the 3 servings into little baggies or containers, or keep them in an airtight container. Like this one, I'll put the lid on in a little bit. And then the Energy Bites, here's the final product. I'm gonna take a bite out of this Energy Bite. Really good. If you like chocolate and peanut butter, that's it. This peanut butter, so it is sticky. I hope you enjoyed these 2 recipes. To get 2 more snack recipes and get my healthy snack guide, check the link in the description below. I hope you see how easy and quick it is to make your own snacks at home without all of those seed and nut oils, without all of the extra ingredients and preservatives and added sugars and all of those things that we don't want, because they cause inflammation in our bodies, which cause our bodies to have stress, which just starts that cycle of inflammation, stress. Make your own snacks at home, pack them to go, super simple, quick and easy. You can do this and then go do other things while the chickpeas are in the oven, the Energy Bites are chilling in the fridge. Again, totally easy and doable, even if you are super, super busy like I am. All right, y'all, until next time, I believe that you can heal your stress from the inside out.